April 29th, 2024. From La Mesa, California, this is episode 308 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello, Mark.
Oh, hey. Finally, an in-person recording. We have not done this in a while. Yeah, unfortunately, though, the circumstances are not very good.
Well, they're expected, I guess. Yeah, my dad passed away a week ago yesterday.
Yeah. Gosh, Mike, 2024, not too good for us personally, right?
Yeah,
We
right.
both lose our fathers within a 3-month period, but
Well, my dad was older. I mean, 97 and a half. So, it's got to happen at some time.
Yeah.
But I assume he's sitting somewhere up there he's either at a slot machine complaining about it not paying off and all the old people taking up the good ones, or he's like at a 3-card poker or maybe a Spanish 21 table.
21,
Yeah, so he's happy.
Complaining about all the old people taking up the spots at the slots.
Remember, he's like 87, 88, and he's like, these old people.
That's going to be me.
They never get up.
It's going to be.
I want that machine.
Well, I was glad I got to see him last time you were out here.
Yeah.
It was bittersweet because I think the both of us, he and I, both kind of realized this was going to be the last time we see each other, right? I could certainly see it in his eyes. But I'm glad I got to. A lot of listeners were able to meet him too. And so for those of you who knew him, you knew he was gregarious, fun to be around.
Yeah,
well, if he sat
talking.
If he sat down at a table, suddenly everybody was his best friend.
Right.
I mean, it was,
he would start a conversation with anybody. Yeah. My favorite thing, Mark, is, and I don't know if you knew this, but my dad worried about you losing so much. I mean, he'd always be coming over to me. Is Mark doing okay? How's Mark doing? He can't afford to lose. He's got children and he's got a house. And he was always, just praying that you would hit something big.
Oh my gosh, that's
I was always, Dad, what about me? I'm losing too.
That's right.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm your flesh and blood. Well, of course, he loved the slots. He loved Spanish 21.
Yeah, I think that was his favorite.
Yeah, he would play craps with us every once in a while. Sometimes that went real well. He had a reputation as a pretty good shooter, although he did also have a reputation as a cooler. As
soon as he would walk up.
Jeez, come on. You're trying to, Dad, no, don't come over here. Don't come over here. Oh, one story I love about him. The first time we went to Atlantic City, he came with us and your brother as well. And of course, he's tooling around in a scooter.
Right.
Like, run into people. And, I think it was at Caesar's Palace. He was going down this ramp. It was kind of like a switchback, you know, when you're going up mountains.
It was a sharp turn.
I don't know, for whatever reason, he couldn't take his hand off the accelerator or what. But he got to the end of that turn,
going so fast.
And tried to make that turn. I can laugh about it because he didn't get hurt.
Right.
But
and I'm holding on to the back, trying to slow him down. We both go flying. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think Jim was there too with us.
Yeah, it was the first time we met Jim.
And he was walking behind there too. I think he saw that too.
That's right. And we also met Ed. That was
the first time we met Ed.
There was like some of the first listeners that we ever met. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun though.
Yeah. When your dad would join us on even just going up to Harrah's, it was always a lot of fun. He'd have great things.
Going through the casino, he never looked where he was going. He would drive that thing and he'd be looking at slot machines or the tables over here. Never cared what was in front of him. Get the hell out of my way.
It's amazing he didn't take anybody out. I think he hit a few people.
Yeah, he hit a few.
Glanced them anyway. But
he hit me once. Oh. My mom would always say, the guy can't move until that casino door opens. And then, he's like an Olympic athlete running through the casino. And that was pretty much true.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite thing is when him and I would go to Vegas and it'd be like 3 a.m. and I would be like, I'm going to bed, Dad. I can barely keep my eyes open. And, he's like, oh, okay, go to bed. And I go and I wake up at 9 in the morning and he's not in the room. And I'm like, where is, and he's at the same spot, same table.
Yeah. He was something else.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah.
And then he just needed a couple hours of sleep and he was back down there.
It's true. And he was kind of like you in a lot of ways. It's like, hey, Dad, don't you need to eat?
Yeah.
It's like, eventually.
Yeah, I'm fine now. I had a mint. He would say they gave me, I remember we'd be at Harrah's or somewhere. Oh, the pit boss gave me some mints. I ate those. Okay.
Oh, gosh. Well, of course, sorry, Mike, to hear it. Yeah, we both talked about how lucky we were to have.
We had them. We were in our 60s and we still had our parents.
But just a great guy, and he's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, let's jump into the show. We got an email from listener James. This is James that I met up at Harrah's, Southern California a couple months ago.
Right.
He's the moderator over at the Crap Vegas Facebook page. Anyway, he says, I just finished episode 63 where it talked about an advantage play with video poker and a progressive. On my last trip to Vegas, I was staying at Rampart, a very underrated off-strip casino, and they had a progressive on their $1 video poker machines. It was up to $4,900 for the Royal, which isn't quite a positive EV, but it did make the game 99.5% return. I guess my question for you to discuss is, at what point, with comps and such, would you consider a game to be a must-play? Like your friends are trying to get you to go play craps, but you're like, no way, I have to hit this Royal.
That was probably best answered by you, Mark, because I'd just be like, all right, let's go play craps.
Yeah, I think in this case, when you're talking about a progressive, when you're talking about, okay, video poker becomes positive EV when that Royal Flush progressive gets above a certain point.
Right.
You and I have never hit a Royal Flush.
Right.
So if it's something like this where, yes, it's positive EV, but it's positive EV because of that big hit.
Right.
Like if suddenly one day they decided to give 20,000 to 1 away for the fire bet.
Right.
Okay. Would we be there, just playing for it? No, it would have to be more something like, hey, today at this casino, they're going to be paying 2 to 1 on blackjack all day.
Right. Well, that'd be worth it.
Yeah. Then we'd sit, okay, because we're going to be able to take advantage of that positive EV a lot, right? It's going to come up a lot. So, yeah, that's our answer is, if it's a video poker machine, we've never hit a Royal.
No, and we could sit there forever. It won't be us. And then, the moment we get up, someone else will hit it. So
yeah, and then it'll go back down to, 95% turn back.
And I just don't want to see someone else. I just as soon not play. Well, I didn't play it. That's why I didn't win. Not, I played it for 3 days and then some guy hit it the next morning, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Again, it would have to be, the rules changed in such a way that we have an advantage and we're virtually guaranteed to come away winners
at that time.
Just during several hours of play. So anyway.
Yeah, and I'm not one to sit at a machine too long.
No.
You have to be really patient for that. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Now, I will say this though. The last time you were here and we were out at Hamul,
yes,
you sat with your brother at a slot for a long time, longer than you normally do, and you were kind of getting into it.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I mean, we were having fun. He was hitting some bonus stuff and things like that. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had so much to do with the fact that I'd like the slots or I was out of money to play craps.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. We had just gotten slaughtered at the craps table. So that was probably a big part of it. Okay, so I guess an addendum to the answer to your question, James, is if Dr. Mike is completely out of money, he'll sit and play that positive EV VP game all day long.
Right. Well, we're not advantage players. So we're not looking for that kind of win, right?
Yeah.
We're looking to be entertained, have fun, hopefully win. It's a whole different outlook, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to the casino for entertainment and we're not able to go as often as we used to. And so, we're probably not going to want to hope to, hit that, especially if it's like a bank of machines. Maybe if you and I were playing the only two and they were connected, it's like, okay, let's just play until it hits. But no.
No, we're not going to start stuff like that until we're old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And according to my dad's definition, that's like, you got to be 95 and above.
Yeah. Or at least triple digits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. All right, we also got an email from listener Square Pair. What is your expectation or understanding of the breakdown on two-way bets? And again, a two-way bet is basically when you make a bet for yourself and one for the dealers. I know if I throw in a red and white chip for a two-way hard 8, it will be $5 for me and $1 for the dealers. What if I do the same with two reds? Is it a 5-5 split or $9, $1? What about a red and a green? Is it always assumed the smaller denomination chip is for the table? What if I just did one green chip? I don't want to put the dealers in the awkward spot of having to ask how much is for them, and I don't want to be surprised if a dealer tries to take advantage of me and takes half of a winning two-way bet when I was expecting a different split. I know the safest is to be clear when I bet, but wondered if there is an established norm. Thanks. So I guess no, there's no established norm other than, you throw in a red and a white and you say two-way hard 8, that's obviously $5 for you and $1 for the dealers.
And a green and a red would obviously be 25 for you, 5 for the dealers.
Exactly.
I think every dealer would set it up. They wouldn't say, 15-15.
Yeah, right. Now, if you threw in two 5s, if the dealer didn't ask, they might go 5-5.
Yeah, because two-way, they might think, you want to put us and you there.
Right.
You'd have to say something like, hey, 9 for me, 1 for you.
Yeah, if you wanted 9-1 or 8-2, you definitely have to say something when you threw it in. If you just threw in a single chip, like a green, they would probably ask you what you want to do.
What do you want to do?
That's really not clear.
Right.
So, you kind of alluded to this, Square Pair, but, just be clear. Even if you're throwing in $6, two-way hard 8, 5 and 1.
Yeah.
And then
it's crystal clear.
And then after you've done it a while, then you don't have to say it anymore. Or if you are throwing in a green every time, say, here, two-way hard 8, 20 and 5. And then maybe the next time you also say 20 and 5. And then after that, if you're consistent, then they won't ask anymore.
Yeah, sometimes when I've been on a hot roll and let's say we need a 4 or something, or I'll throw in like $30 and say two-way 4. And, you have to tell them, do I want 20 for me, 10 on each of the 4s, or 15 and 15 or what? So I usually tell them, hey, 15-15.
Yeah, especially when you get into those more complicated two-way bets where you're actually making two bets and they're both going to be two-way.
Right.
Yeah, always try to be clear. We have seen situations, especially on things like all small tall, where, they're starting to pay off a win. It's like, no, I had 10, you had 1.
Right.
It wasn't supposed to be me 6 and you 5, right? Whatever.
Right.
So, just be clear. And after being clear with what you say, make sure they set it up correctly too.
Right. And the onus is on the player to make sure it's set up correctly.
Yeah. I mean, the boxman should be watching,
right.
All the dealers should be watching, but it really is your responsibility if there is a problem with the way they've set it up.
Yeah. And that happens sometimes not on purpose. Right. Just they're hurrying and they get it flipped.
They get it flipped. It's easy. Yeah. They got a lot of chips coming in. They set it up. They don't realize they got the colors wrong.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You got to watch that. Even if you're not making a bet for a dealer, make sure they place your bet properly, right? Let's say you've only want the 5, 9, and 10. You're placing them or something. If they put you with 5, 8, and 9 or something, you need to keep up on where your bets are because you've seen it all the time where a 10 will hit and the guy said, well, I had a 10.
Yeah.
No, sir, you were on the 9. Yeah. No, I wanted a 10, that kind of thing.
You do need to watch for that, right? Because they might get into a rhythm where they're getting you mixed up with another player just because they're going fast. So, and, by saying this, unfortunately, it's going to make maybe new players even a little more worried about playing because here we're saying, you got to watch them. Yeah. You got to make sure they're paying you right. And you're just trying to figure out how the game works, right? And the mechanics of it. But it is something.
Well, if you're new, hopefully you're not betting a lot and it's easy to follow. Right. You're not making a ton of bets.
Right.
And the only time you don't say anything is when, you're supposed to have a $10 9 and somehow you got a $25 9 up there because they put the wrong chips or something. Then you let that play out.
Maybe even press. Press up 1 unit. I will say this. If you are a brand new player to craps, don't hesitate letting the dealers know that.
Right.
Because if you go up to a table and you act like you know what you're doing, but you don't, you'll make mistakes. They may resent it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? I mean, they shouldn't. It's their job, but that might happen. So if you just come right and say, hey, I know a little bit about the game, but this is my first time playing. Please keep me in line. Make sure I'm not making mistakes. etc. And in most cases, they'll treat you very well.
Yes, and they'll help you out. And I think it's more interesting for the dealers, at least that's the way I felt, when we were dealing, when somebody didn't know how to play and you got to tell them, like, oh, I would do this and explain why. It's just something to do instead of just sitting there like a machine moving chips around, right?
Right.
Makes the day go by.
Yeah, I agree. And one final warning. I know we're stuffing a lot of information into something that has nothing to do with the original question from Square Pair. But dealers won't always tell you the best way to play.
Right.
They've got their own way of doing things, and they may, you got to have a crap check. And hey, that's fine for, once you know the game, but they may not be telling you, at least mathematically, the best way to play.
No, they're telling you the way they like to play, or maybe even the way the casino would like you to play, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for those questions, guys. In the meantime, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click to our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, that means it's voicemail time, and first up is our friend Robin Aubin from NE Time Gambling.
Well, hello, gentlemen. This is Robin, and I'm calling to share a trip report on the MSC Meraviglia. We went on a cruise with this ship about 3 weeks ago. On the day that we were at their private island, the ship was absolutely empty, and so was the casino. I hadn't played craps in about 5 years since COVID caused all the limits to go sky high. But the limits here were $10, no all tall, all small, or fire bet. This was basic 3, 4, 5 times odds. Now, I only had $150 for a bankroll, so I played it really simple, 3-point Molly, with $10 down and $10 odds. And there were 2 dealers and even a boxman half the time, just for little old me. Well, I started shooting and kept shooting, and it was all me for 3 hours. And I really got my money's worth. The $150 turned into $400 after 3 hours. I was very pleased. It was a good time. The dealers were pretty good. They were kind enough to remind me to back up my come bets or place my come bets or whatever. And for that, I did end up paying over 3 hours. I ended up paying about $100 because they were using single dollar chips, and I just kept adding up those chips and just giving them back. And they were very pleased with that, obviously. But in 3 hours' time, my belly started to get sore, only because at the height of 5.5, it was tough for me to get the chips, place the chips, get the dice. So my question for you is this. Is there a standard height for the tub edge, or is there a standard depth for the tub on a craps table? I was just wondering, because maybe there are some tables that are better for those of us who are vertically challenged. Thanks a lot for all you do. We are all grateful hearing you guys still doing the podcast, and you make us laugh, and you give us so much great information. We really do appreciate it. I know I do. Remember, Zorkfest coming shortly, only like 6 months away, I guess. Have a great day. Catch you later.
Yeah, hope to see you there, Robin.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, I was playing Robin's call earlier today just over the speakers on my computer, getting ready for the show. And Sherry was kind of half listening. And she heard him say, I rolled for 3 hours. It's like, 3 hours? So, yeah, just to clarify, it's because he was the only one at the table. He just had to roll the dice for 3 hours. It wasn't a single hand.
I wished it was.
I know. By yourself for 3 hours.
They ought to give you a few mulligans if you're by yourself.
So yeah, talking about craps table dimensions, most crap tables are about 40 inches high. So that's, to the bumpers right in front of you that you stand up against. And the tub is about a foot deep, about 12 inches deep. So, there you go. I don't know that you're going to find any more comfortable places to stand, but maybe get a chair. That might help. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a funny story, and I haven't told you this yet because it's a little embarrassing, but...
All right.
So down at Harrah's, It was basically the first casino we played at that had chairs.
Yeah, for whatever reason, that's just part of the culture.
They have chairs
at the craps table.
And so I love that. We're there for hours at a time, so it was kind of nice to sit down, especially after, I got sick and it was kind of hard to stand for that long. Anyway, I went to the doctor. This is like 2 or 3 months after they started the chairs. It was just for a checkup, and while he's getting checked, I told him, I keep getting this rash on my belly, like the top of my belly. And it just drives me crazy. And it's all, it'll go away a little bit and then it'll come back and it itches like crazy. And so he's looking at it and okay, let's run some tests. So I get some blood tests and stuff, and he go back and he said, well, nothing seemed wrong. There's nothing going on. I don't know what's causing that. And it just went on for a few, and then all of a sudden I realized it was me leaning up against the craps table in those chairs, and my belly would rub on the rail there, right? When I reached out, because I wouldn't stand up to put stuff. So when I'm reaching out, it was rubbing, and it was, friction and just irritation. And so we'd go out there Friday, Saturday night, and then Monday I'd have this big rash that last all week.
That is fantastic.
It took me a little while to figure it out. I was so embarrassed. And then the next time I saw my doctor, she's like, well, what about that rash? I figured that out.
Now, if she were really a good doctor, originally she should have said, well, how many hard ways have you been betting?
Yeah, are you leaning over too far on that craps table? But it was that wood on the rail there rubbing against my belly. Right. Unbelievable.
Well, it sounds like we've got a cause on our hands for the next charity we come up with. Well, I don't know, lower tables, higher tables, lotion on
lower tables, maybe, if you're going to have chairs.
That's fantastic. All right, next up is Tony. The audio kind of drops out every once in a while, just goes silent for, just a brief time, just FYI. But here we go.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Tony from Jamestown, New York, with a trip report from Singapore. I was out here for work for the weekend, stopped at the Marina Bay Sands Casino Resort. Very nice resort. No free alcohol in Singapore, but all the free cold and hot drinks you could want. I'll tell you, Singapore loves me. I went on an absolute heater here. Turned 261 SG dollar into 1,111 SG, which incidentally was the room number at the hotel I happened to stay in as well. So a pretty memorable trip. They do have craps, 4 tables with 2 open, and Pai Gow Poker. Those are the 2 that I played, and as you would expect, tons of baccarat, sick bow, and just a bevy of other carnival games and blackjack that you can play. So a really nice casino. If you're out in Singapore, recommend you check it out. I'll be back in about 3 weeks, and I plan to check out the Resorts World Hotel when I'm back. So trip report coming in a few weeks. Thanks a lot, and keep doing what you're doing. Bye.
All right, thanks very much.
Yeah, I've heard my brother's played in Singapore. He said it's good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's liked it.
Yeah. Tony emailed us after he left this phone call just to let us know the exchange rate. So he was talking about how much he bought in for and how much he won. So that translates to him buying in for about 191 US dollars and cashing out for about 816 US
not
dollars.
Bad,
so
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, not bad.
Quadrupled his money.
Yeah, fantastic.
The thing I got from Tony here, Mark, is that when I check into a casino, I need to ask for the room with the largest number. Yeah.
Some people might think, oh, well, that's going to be the top floor.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, right?
No.
You never know how numbers are going to work.
No, I want room 1346842.
So that's how you. That's how much you'll win.
Yeah,
that's what you're getting at.
That's what I'll win.
Yeah. Good. Well, I'm glad you took that away from Tony's call.
It's the small things, Mark. It's the small things that you have to pick up.
That's just smart gambling. All right, next call.
Hi, this is Dipstick Man from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been listening to you guys for, about 8-9 months, and I got up to July of 2022. So I'm talking to somebody in the future. But I thought I'd call you today because I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Hard Rock Casino, and thought you'd like to know that it's a very clean, well-lit, bright place. The host is wonderful, and the dealers are as friendly as can be. So if you're ever in the Cincinnati area, I would definitely make this one of the stops. I'll see you down the road in maybe about 2 years. Thanks. Lipstick Man, signing off.
Yeah, eventually he'll hear this episode and hear his call.
Hear his call.
We hear a lot of good things about all the different Hard Rocks around the country. The Hard Rock that was in Las Vegas was actually a separate company. It was not the Hard Rock that's bought the Mirage and is going to build there. But yeah, we continue to hear good things. I certainly like the one in Atlantic City, even though it was some of the worst craps I've ever played. But
right. No, it was a nice casino.
Yeah. Open and bright.
And bright.
And I realize some people don't like that in a casino.
Yeah.
They like it a little more intimate, but yeah.
My big pet peeve is when it's too dark. I mean, I need to see. I hate going
I can't figure out what this chip is.
Well, I hate going to like a restaurant that's dimly lit. Maybe it's romantic or whatever, but I want to see what I'm eating, I mean, I want to make sure that I'm putting what I want in my mouth. And it's just like the craps table. I want to be able to see the chips and see everything and see the dice. You ever played on a side where like one side of the table's kind of lit and the other side, for whatever reason, is darker?
I don't know if I have, but I've certainly played at tables where it's hard to see the dice from the other end. Yeah.
I mean, I need light. They got to cater to us old people. Otherwise, they get to complaining.
Yes, I can't see. That wasn't a 7.
Yeah, I need to see them dice.
All right, I want an $800 marker. Dr. Mike, you haven't had a marker here for 20 years. What are you talking about? All right, let's move on. Next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is CSL in the Casino from the YouTube channel of the same name. So I'm calling you today to tell you the story about my most consecutive winning casino trips, which for me is 3. The first trip was to Harrah's SoCal, and I was feeling so confident that I brought more than double my bankroll and proceeded to lose everything playing craps. As I was doing the walk of shame exiting the casino, I remembered that I had some free play. So I put it in the triple red hot 7s slot machine and angrily started pressing the button, telling myself, let's get this over with. And bam! I won all my money back plus another $200. This was the first time I had a huge recovery win as I was walking out the door, and it felt awesome. It's funny how sometimes just getting your money back feels better than if you were winning the whole time. My next trip was to Harrah's SoCal. I brought my parents, and usually we combine our money and take turns picking slot machines. This time we immediately found a $98 ticket hanging out of a machine. My mom starts asking the people next to us if it's theirs. I immediately stop her, explaining you can't just ask people if it's their money. They're going to say, yeah, either way, right? So we waited 10 minutes at the machine to see if anyone would come back and claim it. No one did, so we started playing with the ticket. We played with that ticket for 2 days, probably about 9 to 10 hours of slot play. At the end, we split the ticket, getting about $121 each. The third trip was to Las Vegas. The big win occurred at the D on an individual bubble craps machine. The machine rolled back-to-back 40-plus roll shooters. I couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, the first time I was on the dark side, got my bankroll down to about $100, and then luckily I switched to the light side, playing the pass line, max odds, place and buy bets with a total of $44 on the table. I was doing press and collect alternating hits. When Big Red finally came, I turned that $44 into $1,700, mostly due to hot 10s. Of those 44 rolls, 10 came up 11 times. Nice. 7 of which came in the last 16 rolls. It was glorious. This was my first Vegas trip where my winnings paid for everything plus a little bit of profits on top. So I am today with 3 questions for you guys. First, Mathematician Mark, please calculate the probability of rolling 7 10s within 16 rolls. Next, did we appease the casino gods when we waited 10 minutes to use the slot ticket? It sure felt like we were rewarded. And lastly, please tell us your story of your most consecutive winning casino trips. I did it! Woo!
He got it in within the 3 minutes, so that's what he was celebrating. Yeah. So, gosh, consecutive wins. I was looking back at my records. I found one that was like 5 trips in a row. But I don't have anything interesting to say about it. It was just a nice run.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Mark, at like Harris in California. Remember, we'd go like, oh, this has been like the fourth week in a row we won.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Something
saying.
like that.
4 or 5, right?
4
That's
or 5,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's great.
I think I had
But,
7 once.
Did you? Okay.
I think I remember once having like 7 wins in a row, not big wins, but
Well, still, the way you
coming
play,
ahead.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. And I know the losses are a lot more than 7.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So as far as that Tito ticket goes, he's asking if, the gambling gods smiled upon him. I guess so, since you played on that for so long. But you got to be careful because legally, you're really not supposed to play with that money. You should be turning it in. Now, again, jurisdictions are going to vary. Casinos are going to vary. But we've heard stories about people playing with money they've found, Tito vouchers they've found, chips they've found, and getting in trouble for it. I mean, to the point of getting arrested for it. And it is one of those things where, he waited, right?
Yeah.
They found it there. Surely if the person accidentally left it there, they'd be back by now. So anyway, yeah, I guess they smiled on you, but be careful.
It's hard in a casino because of cameras,
That's one thing, yes.
right? I mean, they can actually see that was left there and you took it. Yeah. I remember Lynn and I were going to the movies once and walking into the theater, there's a $100 bill laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And, I picked it up. There was nobody near us. And we stood there for like a half hour thinking, somebody's going to notice they dropped 100, right?
Yeah.
Nobody came for it. So we kept,
You stood there for a half hour.
Half hour. We were early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were going
early.
to see a movie.
We were going to see a movie. We were quite early.
All right.
So we just sat there thinking, if somebody comes by and they're obviously looking, we're not going to ask them. But if they're looking on the ground, then we're going to say, okay, what'd you lose?
Yeah.
And then after that, we just went in. I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean,
if I give it to the guy at the window,
well, you never
it's going
know.
in his
Of course,
pocket,
you never
right?
know. Yeah, you never know.
So
yeah.
It's not like finding $100 in the trash. That's
No,
yours.
if it's just lying right on top of the trash, obviously somebody placed it there
for me to come
for you
get.
to come get.
That's
yeah.
twice I found a $100 bill. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, the trash can one was the best one, though, of course. Yeah. All right, so CSL in the casino, his specific question was, what are the chances of the number 10 coming up 7 times within 16 rolls? All right. You've always got to be careful when somebody asks you a question like that. It reminds me kind of my job. Software development. The customer has certain requirements that you write the software to.
Right.
And inevitably, once you've done it, the customer comes back and, oh, that's not what I really meant.
Right.
And I think that's the case whenever anybody asks a question like this. Number one, that 16th roll was a 7. So really, at least if you're talking about what happened to him, it was that 10 came up 7 times within 15
rolls, right.
Also, another caveat is probably that a 7 is not rolled during those 15 rolls.
Right, because he could be talking about 16 rolls with 3 7s in there, and 10 was a come-out number or something, right?
Also, what are the chances? Well, okay, what are the chances if starting right now, within the next 15 rolls, that 10 comes up 7 times? And that's really all you can figure. You can't say, hey, if I'm playing all day long, what are the chances that somewhere there are going to be 15 rolls with no 7? All right.
Yeah.
At this point, CSL in the casino is probably thinking, all right, Mark, never mind.
Yeah, right.
You're explaining it to
You're getting too accurate with this.
But here you go. If you want a number, if you were to say, starting right now, I'm going to roll the dice 15 times, what are the chances that at least 7 of those rolls will be a 10?
Right.
Because it could be more, right?
Right.
At least 7 will be a 10, and none of them will be a 7. And the answer to that is about 1 in 50,000. There you go.
Now he can say I did something that only happens 1 in 50,000
So,
times. I've got 49,000 more rolls of 15 before I can expect it to happen again.
So a rough estimate, about 1 in 50,000. So you did good. Okay, next up is Nate. On the last episode, he called in and talked about this situation where there was a player who had to dig into his wallet to split 8s against a 3. And while the dealer was counting the money, the 3 ended up in the money drop box. And they had to call people over, and the hand was played out. We were speculating, like, what options did the casino give players at that point? Would you just give up? So Nate has a little bit more information on that hand.
Hey guys, Nate with Atlanta here, and I just heard myself on your show, which is pretty cool. I did want to clarify that O'Shea's handled that situation great. They found the card with a 3 of spades, brought that out. I think they even turned over the whole card and asked everyone if they wanted to continue their bets or cancel them. And everyone decided to continue on. I think the dealer had a queen, so obviously that one guy lost. So they handled it great, no controversy there. I did want to talk a little bit about the last day of my trip. I was down, just kind of getting kicked around in blackjack, but a dealer at Tuscany told me about his strategy, which he plays a 1, 3, 2, 5 bet progression. And in that, he'll bet 1 unit. If he wins, he bets 3 units. If he wins, he drops down to 2 units. And if he wins that, he bets 5 units. And the advantage there is no matter what, if he gets past that second win, he's up 1 unit. I thought it was an interesting idea. I did a little bit of research. It seemed like there were some similar ones and people liked them. I tried it out on an electronic machine, tripled up my money the very first time I tried it. That gave me the courage to kind of go and try it some more. And then luckily my flight was delayed, so I got to play a little bit more. I went downtown. I tried to check out the plaza, but apparently you can't check bags there if you're not a guest, so that was a bummer. But, went across the street to Circa and checked out a bunch of other hotels. I won every session but one and essentially broke even gambling for that trip. So instead of a long flight home licking my wounds, I had a big smile on my face and can't wait to try that strategy some more. Last thing, if you have a chance, I've been listening to some of your podcasts about comps. The most recent one about are they going down? I will typically bring $1,500 to $2,500 as a gambling bankroll for a trip, and I go maybe 5 or 6 times a year. And I do get free rooms through Caesars, but I don't really get much of anything else, maybe like $20 of free slot play. I never really get anything else. Curious if I should, or if that's just the way it is and I just don't gamble enough. Thanks, and looking forward to future episodes.
Yeah, we can't really speak to that in specifics. We do know that Caesars, as far as reward programs go, it's one of the better ones when it comes to offering free rooms.
Right.
They like to give away a lot of rooms. So it's really going to depend on the program and how much you play, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Listeners, let us know if you're seeing anything with comps, better or worse. Mike, I was talking about how here in Southern California, we're not getting as much. But then that one trip that we took to Hamul, about a month ago, they're throwing all sorts of stuff at us now. On the last episode, you said you hadn't gotten anything, and then not like later that day, you actually got some mailers.
Yeah, I got
right?
some mail. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, and one thing too, he said he goes 4 or 5 times, and this is his bankroll.
Yeah.
Now, are you playing all that at one place?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good question.
You're staying at Harrah's or something, and yeah, if you played it all there, you should get some pretty good comps. But if you played for a few hours there and then you walked across the street, played somewhere else, yeah, you're splitting it up. You're not getting, so they're thinking you didn't gamble much. And that could be the same company too.
Could even
right?
be the same company.
Right.
Meanwhile, maybe you go over and play at an MGM property a lot. You won't get a free room, but maybe you'll get some other offers. Like they'll waive the resort fee or they'll give you some free play. They're all different.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the hardest part is when you're going to Vegas, say a few times a year, you want to go to a lot of different places. Nobody wants to go to Vegas and like, I'm going to stay here in this one hotel the whole time. Now, if you were going to Vegas every, couple of weeks, that'd be different. You could stay one place one time, one place another time. But people like to move around, so that kind of hurts your comps.
Yeah. So comps, some of it could be Las Vegas too. We've talked about how the Strip certainly, it's not a place to just gamble anymore. It's a place for a lot of different things, and maybe they're not rewarding people for gambling as much. We don't know. Let us know what your experiences have been. Now, Nate was talking about this 1-3-2-5 betting system. Yeah, this is a pretty common system, sort of a variation on a reverse martingale, because you're increasing your bet initially after a win as opposed to after a lot, and then it drops down. One thing to keep in mind, Nate said, no matter what, after that second win, you're up 1 unit. Well, that's true if you're not playing a game like blackjack where maybe you're supposed to double down or split.
Right.
What if suddenly, you're on the big bet and that's when it turns out you have to split several times and double down. Suddenly you've got, 5 times your bet out there and you lose. But anyway, sure, it's like any other system. It works when it works and it doesn't when it doesn't. The Wizard of Odds actually has a page analyzing a 1-3-2-6 betting system, virtually the same kind of thing. I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
And what did Wizard of Oz say about it?
Oh, well, I mean, it's just all the numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, he's going to say, this is fine if you happen to
Yeah.
catch, the series of hands. Like
And
any
depending
betting
on what
system,
your
right?
unit is, right? If your unit is $1 or 5 even, maybe that's okay. If your unit is $50, when you get to the 6 times, you've got a pretty big bet out there.
Yeah, and then, suddenly, oh, great, a pair of eights
Eights,
against
right.
a 10.
Right.
Yeah, here we go. But yeah, good to hear about that situation at the blackjack table that he saw at O'Shea's. Sounds
Yeah.
like they actually showed the dealer's down card as well.
Right.
So everybody at the table actually knew the dealer had a 13.
Yeah, which is
before
very
they could-
nice.
So
for
that
the-
is good. It's just bad luck that
Yeah.
ended up making a hand. So, all right, next call.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Dr. Mike. It's Frank from the SF Bay Area. I hope you guys are doing well. So I recently took a weekend out to the Silver Legacy Resort Casino at the Row in Reno, Nevada, the 3 Caesars properties put together. And I've always stayed there when I went to Reno. It's nostalgic for me, and it goes with the times. It really does. So I was playing baccarat. It was an easy baccarat table, the Dragon 7, Panda 8, side bets, all that stuff, commission-free. All that. And I was excited because, well, first it was a $25 minimum, but it was also a squeeze game. And all the players, got to hold the cards and, folded for the tension and all that. But I'm not the kind of guy that likes to fold the cards. I just slightly lift them up like I'm playing Texas Hold'em and the tension from there. Have a winning hand, I'll like throw it down like, booyah, something like that. But I wonder if you guys have an opinion on that, folding the cards. Because I was worried about what the casino would think, but I talked to the dealer and then I was like, is it okay? Like, do you guys have more decks? She's like, well, yeah, we go through decks so quickly, it really doesn't matter that much. But some casinos around here will tell you not to. And I thought that was interesting. But do you guys have an opinion on that? Because I see it all the time. I listen all the time. Thanks for taking my call. I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, a squeeze baccarat game is one where they let you bend the cards, fold them, basically damage the cards
Right.
in some way. It's part of the ritual of the game. In those squeeze games, they don't reuse those cards. When they're done, you'll see they kind of pack them up and that shoe is gone forever. So don't worry about doing it in a case where it really is a squeeze game. Because even if you didn't bend the card, even if you were very nice with it, they're not using those cards again.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad about doing it.
But I don't like to do it anyway.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have
I don't
to.
like
If you
to bend them. I mean, I just don't want to get in that habit. You're always taught, at least I was when you're younger, don't mess the cards up,
Yeah.
right? So they'll last longer and you can play with them. So, I just always treat them like I'm playing poker, right? You're not bending any cards in poker.
To me, again, baccarat is not a very interesting game. And the only reason I enjoy playing it with friends like Tim Lawson, who loves it, is because of this whole ritual and bending it back and, and throwing it in, that kind of thing. Because there's nothing to the game, right? I mean, it's just there's nothing to it.
No.
Yeah, so if I can't bend the cards, if the stakes are high enough, they'll let you rip the cards. I wouldn't do that in just a low limit squeeze game. But yeah, if you're out there betting, tens of thousands of dollars, you can completely mutilate these cards. They don't use them again. So, all right, last call.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from Omaha, also known as Rutgers Kev. I just called to say that I won the Twitter drawing to be entered into the Penn Millionaire Slot Tournament. So to get into the tournament, you had to qualify at your local casino, or you had to win the contest on social, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'm one of the winners. So I get to go to the M Resort in Las Vegas on May 15th and 19th and have a shot at $1 million. And I think there's only 100, maybe 150 players, so that's a pretty good shot at $1 million. I'll take it. So if your listeners could send me some good luck, I'd appreciate it. But for a question, since I'm going to be out in Vegas in May, and I'm elite status with Penn Play, I was thinking about taking advantage of the tier match that MGM Fountain Blue and the Wynn are offering. So with my current status, I can go to MGM, be upgraded to, I think it's gold, and then I can take that to the Wynn and be updated to, I think it's the level just below black. I forget what it's called. Then I can go to Fountain Blue and I can take the Wynn card and be upgraded there. So that sounds good. I mean, but the problem is I don't really gamble at those casinos, but I would if I got offers. Do you think it's worth taking the upgrade to those statuses as I'm not going to play there, or should I just wait until I'm going to play there? I would hate to have me in their system as somebody who doesn't gamble, even though I'm a gambler. So what are your thoughts on that? And I appreciate all the good karma. Thank you. Bye.
Normally we'd say don't take advantage of tier matching just because you can, especially if you're not going to play. There's really no point in that, because then maybe further down the line, when you actually are going to play at a casino, maybe that would be a better time to do it. But in this case, we'd say, yeah, go for it for several reasons. Number one, our understanding is that Fountain Blue will give you something when they tier match you. It might be free play. We're getting this second hand, and who knows if this will still be the case when you're there, Kevin, but you will get something for that tier matching at Fountain Blue. Number two, Wynn tier matching was part of your chain there. And Wynn doesn't typically tier match. They just happen to be doing it right now. It was kind of a surprise. They announced it about a month ago that they were going to tier match.
And will they be doing it in May?
Good question. But they probably will stop doing it here before too long.
Right. I'm sure it's a promotional type
This is
thing.
your chance to do it. And then finally, when you do this tier matching, play a little bit at each of the places where you get the tier match, because that will generate offers. It doesn't have to be a lot, but maybe a half hour, slots, video poker,
play
table
some
games,
video
whatever.
poker, and you're not going to lose too much.
Yeah,
and,
just to get in their system. So at least for right now, we would recommend, go for it.
and here's the thing, Kevin. You're going to be there in the mid-May. May 21st is my father's name day, which is what they celebrate in Europe. The name day is your patron saint's birthday.
Okay, so it's not his birthday.
It's not his
but
birthday, it's his name day.
His name day, okay.
Which is St. Constantine,
that was
May
his first name.
21st.
Yep. Mhm.
And so you're going to be there. So as you're playing every once in a while, because you're on a slot machine now, you just say, come on, Con, give me some help.
All right.
And I'm expecting him to win.
Okay. Now, May 21st. Now, the tournament only goes
A little
till May
before.
19th.
Yeah, but
okay, so we'll have to stay over.
Yeah, you're close enough.
Well, yeah, congratulations on getting an entry into that tournament. He sent us the notice that he actually got. It says your prize includes air and ground transportation to and from M Resort, hotel accommodations, and a seat in the tournament. So not bad.
Yeah, 150 people. You got a pretty good chance,
Yeah,
right?
and I would think that there are probably some reduced prizes for maybe top 10, something like that. I've never heard of a slot tournament where it's only first place. So,
right, yeah. Well, and I maybe even welcome gifts, treats like that.
So, yeah, things like that. So, yeah, good luck, Kevin. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of You Can Bet on That. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations from the International Brotherhood of Gobbling Donkeys, from Brian Dancer, from Brian and Sarah, from Josh, and from the guys over at Crap Vegas. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener Michael. Karma donation celebrating my wife Courtney's birthday weekend with a quick trip to Weekapaw Casino here in Phoenix. Here's to lots of 3-2 blackjacks, hardways, and a big winning parlay for the last day of the NBA regular season. We both love your podcast. Keep up the great work. Well, good luck on that trip, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, it already happened.
Oh, yeah. That's
because the NBA season is over.
Oh, yeah,
We're
that's
in the
right.
playoffs.
Oh, that regular season, NBA regular season. Yeah, in my mind, I was thinking, the
playoffs.
the finals, right? So I thought it was good. So hopefully you had a good trip. Also, a donation from Frank, Karma donation for a weekend in Reno. We heard from Frank earlier, so thank you very much. Also, a donation from our good friend Melanie. Love your show. Can't wait to see you both, hopefully in June. That's right. She's going to show up for at least part of that Blackhawk meetup in Colorado.
Right.
I can only go for first part of it, but it would be a dream come true to shoot craps with you both in Colorado. Half of this donation is for the show, the other half for Dr. Mike's school. So,
thank you, Melanie.
Thank you
They really appreciate that.
Also a donation from Scott. He said, Mark and Mike, I'd like to make a reverse karma donation and basically ask that you guys send me money. The reason, the last time I sent you guys a karma donation, our luck went so bad that my buddy got a kidney stone and we couldn't even make the trip. Forget losing at the tables, we didn't even get to the tables. So I figure I needed to do whatever was the complete opposite of sending you money to turn things around. I'm kidding, of course. My buddy and I rescheduled and always have a blast. And I'm giving this karma donation thing another try for our upcoming May 17th through the 21st trip to Circa and Palazzo. You guys do a great job. Thanks for keeping me entertained between trips, Scott.
Yeah, he'll be there May 21st, so he can
there
use...
you go. Now he can do it.
Just ask Con. Just look up and say, Con, I need a win. I need a win, Con.
You and I both had kidney stones. We know they are rough.
They are very rough. I've had 2 surgeries now because of kidney stones.
Also, a donation from Tim Lawson. He paid us. Remember, he said he was going to pay based on how we finished in our poker tournament. He was going to donate to your school. So we got that donation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. And that went to very good use.
Yeah. Also, a donation from listener Kyle. Karma donation for Vegas trip with wife, April 27th through the 30th. So that is coming up very quickly. So
yes.
Good luck on
tomorrow.
That trip. Yeah. Also, a donation from Emily. This is a karma donation for a 20 years plus annual girls trip to Las Vegas, May 2nd through the 5th. All 10 of us absolutely love playing craps together and tend to leave our mark. Cheers to downtown Las Vegas, crap injuries, and hopefully a winning trip. Love the show. Oh, that's great. So good luck, Emily.
I like crap injuries. They're prepared.
That's right. They're going to get a rash on their bellies.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And finally, a donation from Kevin that we heard from at the end there. Karma donation for the Penn Millionaire Slot Tournament, May 15th through the 19th. Let's get lucky one time.
Oh, I think he will. I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet that Kevin wins the whole thing.
Oh, that would be great. Wouldn't that be great? One of our
Yes.
listeners wins $1 million. Oh, I hope it happens. Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet on That t-shirts. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Dr. Mike, I can't think of anything better to celebrate your dad's life than to go out to the casino.
Exactly.
Are you up for it?
Yes, he would love that. And unfortunately, my daughters want to go to Verona.
Oh.
Since they're not 21 yet, but they are over 18.
Yeah.
They want to go to Verona to celebrate Grandpa. Too bad he couldn't go with them.
Yeah.
He couldn't quite make it that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said, yeah, we'll go. I want to hit a few slot machines.
Oh,
for
fantastic.
Grandpa.
All right. So we'll go to Verona. You said they weren't free till later tonight. So
yeah.
maybe we'll do that after. We'll see. But I'll talk to you afterwards about where we should go. I think we've got some ideas. Probably Hamul, actually, because it's so close. So,
right.
Yeah, we'll probably
we
do
might
that.
have some free play there.
Yeah, we might. So, all right. Well, as a tribute to Constantine, and I agree.
We'll head out and hit some casinos.
Hit casinos, maybe even raise a glass. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Anything else, Dr. Mike?
No, I think that's going to be it. I'm not going to mention the Padres.
Good, thank you.
As soon as I left Minnesota, they lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah, yesterday's was particularly bad. Yeah, that's good.
You be back in town did it, right?
Yeah, that's what did it. Well, you might want to think about, though, coming back once a month, something like this. I like this in front of each other. We definitely play off each other better when we can.
Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah. I'll be here over the summer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still got to take care of my mom.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Oh, Adam, the installation guys called. They can meet you at 9 tomorrow.
Okay, great. Oh, no. That's not going to work. We need to buy my lottery tickets at 9. That's my lucky time.
How is it lucky if you've never won?
Every time I don't win, I'm building up my luck. That's how it works.